Some people may say, well, how did you get to this point in your life? How did you get here? You see what I'm saying? Through relationship with God, meaning the time that we put in with trying to be in love with somebody, trying to get to know somebody, always giving those people our time and attention, or our friends time and attention, family members time and attention, jobs time and attention. I'm gonna tell you, once I got saved, that was the introduction, okay? That was the invitation. Once I got baptized and saved, I never turned back. No matter what I was doing, who I was dating, I never turned back. I stayed with God the entire time, meaning Bible study, listening to sermons all day long. I'm not saying you have to do it in this order. I'm telling you how my life was. I was a homebody. I wasn't out at no clubs. I wasn't dating many different people. I wasn't laying down with. It was me and God, homebody, like it is right now in my home. Staying productive on a spiritual level. It was through constant prayer, writing down, journaling, going through every motion, okay? Conversation with God every single day. And, you know, doing those Bible studies helped me too. I had those Bible study books from church, okay? Workbooks, find you some workbooks. Constantly, every day. And the one, when I opened up this Bible study book, it says, you know, teaching me how to make God the center of my life. And I thought to myself, how am I gonna do that? Because I don't know nothing about it. Because I was 21 at this time, just baby in Christ, right? I said, how? I kept on going. I kept living. Now I see how. Because I made God a part of everything. Every decision that I made. I started my day with God. And never changed. No matter who I got around. It never changed. Every single day since I was 21. So you see Nation Inspiration, Catch Them Diamonds. I'm telling you, I was already who I was before I got here. And I'm trying to tell you, you are who you are before you got here. Message. You are. But a spiritual awakening in this spiritual journey, right, is what's taking you to that, to discovering purpose and identity. Sense of of identity and purpose is taking you. That's what this spiritual awakening is. Coming back to God spiritually, knowing yourself. When you come in this world as a baby, you don't know nothing. So you're growing up. You only know what this world teaches you, right? So now you done got messed up in this world. The only thing that happened with me once I took along that spiritual journey, I never turned back. And I silenced society. I turned society off. I no longer listen to what these people were talking about. I no longer listen to them say, well, God don't want a woman to preach and talk about this. You don't tell me. You don't know what God want to do. What do you know? And I'm going to tell you something that I learned about, being amongst the religious people and Christians. Most of them do not know their purpose. They do not know their identity. This is why you will have a generation of many people in your family still waiting around on breakthroughs. They still waiting on the Lord. Now, there is a season where God tells you to wait, but there's also a season where God says to go. Only time we waiting on God is waiting on further instructions. So you mean to tell me God ain't gave you no instructions in 45 years? Baby, you're not in alignment. That's what I learned about being around religious people and amongst the Christians. Most of them don't know. They're still suffering. And I'm going to close with this point right here. This is what brought me to make this video to help. I know what I'm doing is real. I know this is my assignment. Listen, before the year 25 got here, I've already done the year 25. You see what I'm saying? I'm just living it in reality. Spiritually, we've already done this. It's already been done. This day has came and gone. You see what I'm saying? I'm just following the blueprint. This is what I'm doing right now is prophecy. That's it. This is what I'm going to tell you. There was somebody who left a comment on my YouTube. And I get this often. When I might make a video and say, listen, for those of you that's been, God is giving you confirmation sign that you might be moving or might be leaving your job or you might do this and that. See, people who are in tune spiritually know that what God is, instructions that God has given them. They just need the confirmation. People who are not in tune spiritually, they are confused. I'll get comments like this right here. Well, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I'm not going to leave my home because this and that. See, they're so confused. They get on the internet and listen to every message and think it's for them. And then what they'll do is try to apply it or try to make sense to it. And when they can't make sense, this is what they say, false prophet. No, you just lost. Because it's not my job to know where you are. This is why I got a message called Detect the Season. What season are you in? What's happening in your life on the spiritual level? Where does God have you? I was responsible for my own. You know what I'm saying? To know where I was spiritually. So when I hear a word, when I used to listen to sermons on YouTube, I knew whether or not that message was for me. I knew. But that's called being in alignment spiritually. And most people are not. This is why you listen to every video and try to apply. How you going to try to apply 17 different videos to your life? That's what I mean. And that's why I say most religious people and Christians are lost. And that's why they still waiting on the Lord. They don't even know what seasons they're in. And I'm not being funny. I'm being for real. That's why. I'm still waiting. What are you waiting on exactly? And I'm telling you this, we back at it. Listen, if you in this time, if you are still breaking generational curses from your family, like you're breaking out, you see it, and now you breaking away from those spirits of hindrance, that means nobody in your family was hearing from God. And I'm being for real, because that's what it means. If you are in this time, this generation, just like I am, breaking generational curses, breaking out of that hindering spirit, breaking away from all that fear, breaking away from everything, that means nobody in your family started it. That means nobody was hearing. That means they were just a poor-minded person just waiting on the Lord. Waiting on the Lord, doing the best we can. No. God said his plan was to prosper. And that's what I'm going to see. I'm going to have an abundant life. That's what I'm going to live. I'm not going to hand over my deed. I'm not going to hand over my letter, my treasures, my blueprint, and just say my treasures is when I die. No. I'm going to get some of these treasures while I'm here. I'm going to come into my purpose and flourish while I'm here. I'm not going to die to see the goodness of God. No, I'm going to see the goodness of God while I'm here. Come on now. Somebody say, catch them diamonds. Let me get that. Come on now. High five that. Because are you sick and tired of living around people that's just waiting to die? Come on. I'm trying to tell you how to get that breakthrough. I'm trying to tell you how to do it. But you probably going to be the first one. Maybe you few of your other family members. Maybe one or two of y'all. But everybody else just I'm telling you, they're going to go live the same life in that cycle. Generational curse. It's just a cycle. It's just going in like this. They're not evolving, just revolving around and round. And they're so frustrated because nothing is working. I know nothing's working. Because when you're not in alignment with your identity and purpose, nothing is going to work. Let me give you a story. Let me show you what I mean by that. When I was in school, me and my classmates got together and we started doing music, right? So we started cutting some records. I made a full album. So make an album. I'm on radios. I'm traveling. I'm doing all that. Underground artists, right? It was cool. But over time, it wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So, the plans was to be, recognized by a label, to be worldwide, to finally get that big break, to have the music out there, you know what I'm saying? Mainstream. So it just didn't go. So I remember, after, taking a break from it, just finishing school like that, I remember just telling God, I said, God, listen, if I am pursuing the wrong talents and passion, let me know now so that I won't keep pursuing something that is not in the plans for me. I am telling you, that moment there, that is the best thing to say or pray. Ask God if what you're doing is in God's will, your blueprint. Because I'm telling you, so many people will spend years trying to chase something that was never in the blueprint. And so now you live a life of being disappointed. I'm telling you, this is what I'm getting back to, identity and purpose. Because we can take on assignments and, feel like this is my purpose to do this and be that, right? So that's what I prayed. So it was like maybe within that week, I had a friend of mine call me. It was like 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. I just said, God, just give me a sign that am I right? Because I feel like music is a thing, but just let me know. And I will move on. Because I gotta do something with my life. Boom. Friend called. Woke me up out the sleep. Listen, I'm on the way to school, but I'm gonna tell you about this dream I had. Girl, let me tell you. I had a dream you was overseas, and it was a music store. They had all your posters around and playing your music like you had came out with an album and you was just worldwide. I said, girl, don't you know that was part of my Bible study, just a few days ago. She was like, well, whatever you prayed and talking about, girl, I just had a dream. I said, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. I needed to know what I was pursuing, what I was doing wasn't just a waste of time. You see what I'm saying? Now, however, you might be in the right neighborhood, but at the wrong house. Meaning I'm, as far as that, public, what they call it, public figure, you're in entertainment, music, all of that. But see, there's strategically moving. It might not, you might be, there, but this is not the chapter for that yet. See, there needed to be a spiritual awakening first, because you're more than just some, MC, check it. You're more than that. But see, I don't know that yet. I don't know nothing about Nation Inspiration. I don't know nothing about Catch Them Down. I don't know nothing about, God is using me as a motivational speaker. I ain't think about that. I'm just trying to, mic check 1, 2, real, All right, so y'all still with me? Let's go to the next part. Catch them diamonds.